Welcome to Here Come the Details, a screen show with Josh Fadem. This week we welcome our third episode of The Tape Pile with Garrett and Ray. The guys discuss the Emerald Forest and the themes of John Boorman, 90s era neo-noir in the desert, Jim Thompson adaptations, and After Dark My Sweet. Michael Ritchie's The Island starring Michael Caine, plus Chip dabbles in smoking ice and the guys give him a tough love PSA.
I have, yeah. So, anyway, TV. This is the TV that we got. Is it moving? All right, it's on. It's on. Maybe next time we'll hook up the tape player to it, and we can even pop some tapes in there while we're talking about tapes, you know?
I got a new VCR, I guess.
You do?
Yeah.
In here?
Somewhere my buddy said he brought one to me, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, it might be in the back.
Yeah.
Buddy Jerry came by?
Yeah, Jerry came by.
Jerry from Quick Trip.
Jerry from QT, yeah.
Yeah, man. I saw him. I was like, hey, what's up? I think we were cool. He didn't seem to, he either didn't remember me, he didn't act like I remember me. He just said, hey, I'm dropping this off.
Oh, he remembers you, man. I mean, you just gotta, but you gotta keep it cool, dude, you know.
Did I piss him off that bad? I don't think I said anything that bad. I just said, fuck these rubbers, man. You gotta get them out of here, you know.
In the gas station world, you know, I mean, you were walking on eggshells in that interview, and you cracked a few. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know, I'm known to be bad boy sometimes, I guess. That's why my girl kicked me. That's why I'm still here. You know, I'm speaking with my girl because every time it seemed like we're going to make up, I come at her, and it seemed like we're getting nice and cuddly, and I'm like, what do you think? We do it without a rubber? Boom, the whole thing blows up in my face like a microwave egg.
That's a damn shame, man. I bet she's like, at this point, she's kind of expecting you to bring it up every time, so it's like...
It seems...
It's a tense situation.
It seems you might have struck a chord with the Jared thing. Is it Jared or Jerry? You said Jared. I've been calling him Jerry the whole time. Maybe that also pissed him off.
It's Jared, but you can call him Jerry.
Who's a Jared don't go by Jerry for fun, right?
I'd go by Rod, personally. I'd go by Rod.
Oh, yeah, Rod or Red. Red, that's a pretty cool one. I know.
It'd be Rod, but you could go by Red.
Yeah, so he's Gerard.
Gerard.
Well, Gerard, excuse me, Gerard came over. He says, I got a tape player. I got a tape player for Ray. And I said, yeah, you can put it right over there. I don't know. I didn't want to make too much eye contact.
He's a cool guy, man. You just gotta lay off the rubber talk, man.
It seems that no rubbers in my whole life seems to cause problems.
I know, I hate rubbers too, man.
Hey, so thanks for tuning in. If you're watching now, number one thing you need to know, we hate rubbers. Number two thing you need to know, this is Ray. I'm Gare. You're watching Tape Pile. We're filling in for Josh. I guess he don't have his shit together today for Here Come the Details. So he said, can you please help me out? I said, no problem, man. We got plenty to talk about. We got plenty of tapes. Last week, big news in the Us News game. Both of us had a joint It's a Boy party. Because we both got new baby boys. Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations to you, man.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I didn't want this latest one, but he's cute.
I mean, every kid's a blessing, you know. I mean, Melody, even though she and I aren't together anymore, I mean, and Gina's pissed off at me.
Gina's pissed because Melody gave birth.
I'll let Gina know the deal beforehand, but I mean, still, she's acting like it's a damn surprise. You know, that party was a little bit bittersweet for me. I would prefer if we just, I don't know.
I just didn't want to waste money by throwing these balloons away because they're expensive.
I do enjoy a balloon every now and then.
Yeah, we got to keep some festivity. Now, it sucks. It just straight up sucks that that's a reminder, you know, that like, dang, that's just going to be a lot more money down the hole. Them boys is burning holes in our pocket. Tanya gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. We named him Hawk. What'd you call your boy?
Jared.
Okay, so you like Jared. All right, so Jared's a good guy. Did you call him Jared or Gerard?
Well, my son is Garrett, but he is named after Gerard, who is the godfather to my son.
Gerard from QT?
Gerard from QT, that's right.
Shit, man, I didn't know you was that close with Gerard. So that's why he even probably listened to you to get that interview for me.
Well, I'm trying my best, man. I mean, you know, QT, a lot of people are trying to get in at QT these
Man, you're
days,
a good friend. I just want to say it now. I don't want going unsaid. I appreciate it. Even if we get tense here over what tape we're going to put on or whoever gets to sleep on the cot, I appreciate you.
Well, I love you, man.
I love you too. Previously on the tape pile.
I'm not nobody. I come from a family. My daddy, he's got 3 sports-themed restaurant bars. One is called Kicks, one is called The Sideline, and one is called Tackles.
So Chip has been bugging our ass non-stop saying, when you do the tape pile again, I get to be security. I get to be security. So finally Chip gets his way. His squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Well, this is the safest it's ever been in here.
Well,
I know at least I could kill people in at least 6 different ways.
Can you really? You just bullshitting me. I don't believe it.
Every single one with my hands or my legs.
You're a chokehold guy, aren't you?
I'm a chokehold. I could put you out in under 10 seconds, Josh. Garrett, God damn it.
Who's Josh? Josh ain't even here, man.
You said with your legs. Can you do it with your legs? Can you do chokeholds with your legs?
Yeah,
like,
what you do is you have to put your head in my stomach. I learned this from the Ultimate Fight. You put your head is in my belly button, basically, and then I wrap my legs around your head, and you don't wake up for a couple days. So
an assailant has to be putting his head on your stomach in order for the chokehold
ideally,
to work.
Yes, Garrett, ideally.
But that's one of the 6 ways.
It's one of the 6 ways. The other 5, one of the ways I couldn't even tell you about. It's a family secret. My dad showed me.
So your dad who owns the restaurants, Chip is our rich friend over here, so, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
you might say that's one of the reasons why Chip is hanging out.
Yeah, Chip's hanging out. Sometimes Chip picks up the check, and I ain't complaining. So, Chip, I respect you.
Thank you.
I don't think you can do shit if someone comes in here and hassles us, though. I'm gonna be honest.
I could put him in a world of pain. I tell you that.
I think chokeholds are for pussies, man. I'm gonna be honest.
Just
fight it out, man.
You want me to come over there right now, Garrett?
No, I don't. But if you did, and I passed out, I'd also still feel like, man, you're a pussy. You ain't gonna fight me like a man. You're gonna choke me out.
If I need to, I'll show everybody at home watching this that I could put your ass to sleep.
Chip, if you come over here and try to put me in a chokehold, I'm gonna fucking break your nose bone and
he's
push it
gonna
into your fucking brain.
Nose in the fucking brain, man. Like fucking Out for Justice or something like that. Doesn't he do that in Out for Justice?
Well,
he probably does it
a variation on
He probably does that somewhere.
I mean, I think
Ian, you get shot out for justice.
Our belief that we could break somebody's nose bone and push it into their brain stems from Seagal.
I think that
Seagal-like attitudes in the world.
I think that Seagal might have invented that whole thing of like, all I gotta do is push his nose bone into his brain. And he ain't gonna fuck with me anymore. But even still, I mean, Seagal, man, he does that. He puts the nose bone in my brain. I ain't gonna, and I'm dead. I still ain't gonna think he's more of a man. You know, I'll be honest. Maybe in the sake of for the narrative of the movie, if we got some asshole hassling Seagal, and you think, man, I'd love to see an asshole get shut down. Seagal shuts him down, and it's pretty badass. But in general, man, if it's brawn on brawn, strength on strength, if you chokehold somebody, that just ends a conversation right there. It's like if we're having a conversation. And the only way to have the conversation is by fighting. You shut it down, you might as well be walking away.
So you feel like fist only is a measure of a man?
I suppose if that's the fight that's set out, you know, like, okay, you think about like a Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movie or something like that.
I do.
They do a fight scene, it's beautifully choreographed, and it's equally matched, or it's one powerful character versus a whole sea of Shaolin monks or something, and it takes them all on, you know? That's an art form. That's a dance. That might as well be a Busby Berkeley sequence, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But if it's like 2 people are going to fight, boom, it's over. I suppose I'm impressed that you shut it down quick, but I don't get any kind of measurement of skill or strength or whatever.
Chip, you like chokeholds because they do it on that dumbass show you watch? You trying to make us watch that show?
Chip don't know movies about nothing. He just watches that Yellowstone and stuff.
Y'all are over there watching all kinds of stuff. I never heard of any of that. I watch Yellowstone. I watch Landman. I watch Big Daddy. I only watch classics. I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Landman's new. It can't call it a classic when it's new.
I don't even know what the hell Landman is, man.
It's a TV show. And
who is the Landman?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, well, is it good?
I don't know. I ain't seen it. Chip thinks it's good.
You ever heard of an instant classic? An instant classic is like when I whoop your ass within a minute of me meeting you.
And then everybody's talking about it?
Yeah, everybody talking about it. We wouldn't even be
like
able
Harry
to,
Nilsson.
We couldn't even.
Is that a line from the show? I'm kind of confused about.
No, I just was referencing
thing.
I was just referencing the Fred Neil written Harry Nilsson song. Everybody's talking from Midnight Cowboy. You know, I was just dropping references.
Okay, well, sorry, I got a little lost in the
that's all right. Yeah, we're digging in the weeds. We need a lawnmower here.
Shall we head into the forest?
Yeah, okay. Speaking of the forest, we got a hell of a pile of tapes for the tape pile today. This one, oh man. We'll start here with this. Ian, you got a shot of this here? Why don't we set this up real nice? We got it, all right. So what we got here today, look at this. The Emerald Forest. You see that? Get that in? You get a shot of that again? Ian, you get that again? Ian, you get a shot of that again? We got it. You got it? All right. Man, so Emerald Forest, you recommended this. I watched it. I was not disappointed. Now, I would like to, from the get-go, give this a glowing review, but I'm hesitant given our signature review. Normally when a movie's this great, I would say it's like doing it without a rubber.
Yeah.
But this movie is a delicate subject matter where I am hesitant because I would not want someone to be confused by thinking that it's like doing it without a rubber. This movie features well, I'll tell you what it's about. Maybe for the sake of this particular movie, if you're asking about the quality, I'd say the quality is equal to doing it without a rubber, but that has nothing to do with the narrative of it. So you might compare this movie with, say, if there was a NASCAR racer and it were Dale Earnhardt Sr. versus, you know, Harrison Burton or something like that.
Yeah,
this is a Dale Earnhardt.
Harrison Burton being the worst.
Yeah, Harrison Burton being a negative review, obviously, because he's got to be one of the worst NASCAR racers there is.
So you think this movie's Dale Sr. or Jr.?
Senior's the better of the bunch.
It is.
So I would say it's a Dale Sr.
So I think Deliverance is like a Dale Sr. movie. So I don't know if Emerald Forest also is a Dale Sr.
Okay, both directed by John Boorman.
That's
Emerald
right. That's why I compare the two.
Because I guess I'm thinking about it as a standalone versus comparing Boorman's whole body of work.
Sure.
And what this movie's about is Powers Booth plays a contractor, or an architect. He's building a dam in the rainforest.
The Amazon. Mysterious, powerful, unchanged since the dawn of time.
Right, and they're tearing everything down.
Until now.
There are
I'm scared.
some of the last indigenous tribes functioning outside of civilization, in existence on the planet, still in the rainforest. And they're tearing them down and displacing these tribes. And they live like, you know, they must have lived hundreds of years ago or something. As an achievement, it's like Dale Sr. It's like doing it without a rubber as an achievement.
I didn't mean to say it's not. I just mean it's barely a Dale Sr. movie for me.
Okay.
And I wanted to make at least a distinction between Dale Sr. and Dale Jr.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. So it's more of a Dale Jr. for you. For me, I thought of it like, I mean, there's just so many layers going on. It's like an onion, you know. The movie presents protagonists, which is like Powers Booth and his family.
Yeah.
You know, but they're doing something that's not going to be good for the rainforest.
Yeah.
And then we got these tribes, two tribes, one of which has been displaced.
Yeah.
And that tribe is a little more, pardon my use of the word, savage than the other tribe, which it turns out they're kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this nice tribe, they do a thing that we would all agree ain't cool.
A child was taken.
They kidnapped Powers Booth's baby at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Powers Booth devotes his whole life to becoming a badass who can, one, build dams, but two, try to find his kid.
Yeah.
So he spends like, what, a decade or something looking for his kid. And he learns the language.
But Bill Markham's greatest discovery lies ahead.
Which is pretty fucking impressive, if you ask me. But, okay, here's where we're talking about where it gets a little delicate and kind of impressive. This film, in its depiction of these indigenous tribes functioning outside of society, it does feature a lot of nudity from people of many ages. So, and in some cases, I'd like to hear your opinion on this, in some cases one could argue mildly sexualized.
Yep.
Suppose you could have this debate. If you want to give the movie credit, it features it in a coming of age sort of way versus you're supposed to be titillated by it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I will say, no, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
I was taken back by this, and I looked it up online, you know, and she does feel kind of weird about it now.
For real?
The actor, you know?
Yeah.
So, the girl, the main girl who Charlie Boorman, John's son,
who
plays the teenage boy, like when he's grown up. It's like the girl he's like falling for. She is topless, like for like a lot.
She's
of the
top.
movie.
There's a lot of nudity, and there's a lot of other people topless.
What the hell are we doing?
What y'all say it was called?
Chip, maybe we ought not to tell you what this one's called, Chip.
Okay, all right. I've been lonely over here. I don't have as many women
Chip,
and kids.
but you've been cocky because you've been hooking up with the local ice head.
It's good, but it's
She's kind of manic, ain't
Man,
she?
Chip, you better not do ice, man. I'm going to beat your ass if I catch you smoking ice.
You better not. Well, I'm going to tell your daddy. That's what we're going to do. We're going to call your daddy.
Don't even talk about that.
Yeah, we'll call your daddy. We'll tell.
That's
we'll
not funny, Garrett.
I ain't joking.
Okay.
We'll tell.
Just remember, these tapes ain't worth anything. They're worth everything to us, but they're not worth money, man.
Our buddy Frankie, he used to run the table at the Admiral Flea Market with the VHS tapes, and he got hooked on ice. Started popping pills, started smoking ice, stuff like that. And he sold me, that's why we got all those boxes back there, he sold me 4 whole boxes of tapes. $20. That itself must have been like $200, $300 worth of sales, but it's because of the ice. That was enough of a PSA for me to steer clear.
Yeah, you can't afford to be patient when you're trying to buy ice. You know, sometimes you just got to buy. It's a damn shame to sell all your VHS for ice.
I mean,
we got a lot of cool stuff. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
that's the tapes we're looking through right now.
That's true.
Completely honest. So in a way, ice has helped us out.
Yeah,
but it hasn't helped our friends.
I'm grateful for ice, but it breaks my heart for Frankie.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, Emerald Forest, right? So you read some stuff online that the lady...
Yeah, I read that she kind of feels like weird about it now, and I'm like, yeah, I would too, man. I mean, when you're a kid, I mean, even like not being a kid, like, have you read about like Chloe 70s, like kind of like...
Brown Bunny?
The Brown Bunny was kind of weird. I probably shouldn't have done that, you know?
Is that how she feels about it?
At the time, she was like, this is art and stuff, but now she's like, hey, why did I do this, you know? It's like, yeah. So even, I feel like even as an adult, you can kind of dupe yourself. And you're thinking like you're doing something for some reason. I don't know that it adds a lot. If she was covered up, I wouldn't be bumped at all, you know? In fact, I might feel like I could recommend this movie to a few more people besides you, Garrett.
Okay, a movie like this, the movie seems to be aware of all angles in terms of the global situation going on. It's from 1984, I think so.
Yeah.
So the movie...
I think, yeah.
The movie has an awareness of the whole situation and the ethical parts of tearing down the rainforest and displacing
I hope that's not
people.
a fire hazard.
Yeah, is that a fire hazard over there?
It kind of sounds like somebody's making ice in the other room.
Oh, shoot.
God,
Chip, can you take care of that?
You told me this wouldn't be a thing.
Sorry, Chip. We thought we patched it up.
Choke this smoke out.
Yeah, that smoke's going to choke you out.
God damn it.
Shit, you're getting the cough going?
What? Garrett, you said this wouldn't be an issue here.
Sorry about that, Chip.
Don't worry, smoke follows beauty, so
yeah. So it's just... It just thinks you're cute. Yeah. So, hey, who's that girl you've been hooking up with?
I wish I could remember her name.
A dime a dozen, huh?
I've had quite a bit. I don't mean to brag.
All right, well, she abandons you or she ODs or something like that. At least you got some smoke to cuddle with.
She's mad because I can't get her pregnant because nothing comes out.
You're shooting...
Chip's got that condition, man. You don't need to tell everybody about that, dude. We're recording all this, right?
Yeah, this is going to blast out all over the inner house.
I think it's because of the ice I used to do.
You did ice?
I did ice.
I'm telling your daddy.
Don't tell my daddy.
I'm telling your daddy. So
tell my daddy's like Harrison Burton level.
Well, doing ice is Harrison Burton level.
Doing ice is Harrison Burton.
Doing ice is doing it with a rubber in your hand.
Equals Harrison Burton.
I guess I see it like on one end, if I completely divorce myself from those ethical issues in the filmmaking process, I watch it and I just say, this movie's a marvel to make. Mm-hmm. I'm not personally titillated watching this scene.
Well, no.
I can understand that this may be, we wouldn't make this movie today. It wouldn't exist. But the movie exists, it's a time capsule. And then if you think about just the artist of John Boorman, he's got this interesting body of work. I mean, it kind of is like, this is the guy that made Deliverance.
Yep.
This is the guy that made, what's it called, Emperor of the North? Or no, that's with Lee Marvin. What's the one with Toshiro Mifune? Fucking name, man.
I don't know.
Is that John Boorman? I could be. I get Emperor of the North.
He made the Lee Marvin, Richard Stark. What's that movie? Point Blank.
He made Point Blank. Yeah.
Point Blank.
Which that movie's
that's
bad.
You're not thinking.
No, that's not what I'm thinking of. There's a movie. I'll just look it up afterwards. Oh, the war's over, and and it's Toshiro Mifune and another guy, and they're still fighting. They don't know the war's over. They're the only survivors.
Well, I haven't seen that movie.
Well,
that sounds kind of good.
Yeah, it is good. At any rate, Deliverance is fucking doing it without a rubber movie. That's for damn sure.
Oh, hell yeah. And I mean, I'm glad to see, I love, as you know, green is one of my favorite colors. You know, I love green in a movie, and this Boorman knows green, I feel like, really well between this, all the Forest shit, and Excalibur.
Yeah,
and then,
Excalibur.
Deliverance, the ultimate green Forest movie.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
By comparison to Deliverance obviously a better movie, more of a crowd pleaser movie. This movie, it's like they're taking the concept of Deliverance where you put some fish out of some water and you put them in, take them out of the water, you put them somewhere else.
The Amazon.
And then they got to learn to fend for themselves. I mean, something happens the third quarter of the movie where it gets a little bit 80s, you know, where it's like, all right, now we are on a mission.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I ain't mad at that kind of movie.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it either.
You know, that's the 80s, and that's what the 80s is about. We're on a mission now. We got these girls, and they're dressed up, and then we got to rescue them from a whorehouse, you know? And, I mean, but there's some shots in this movie. Like, there's a shot that is so amazing in this. I forget the name of the more savage tribe.
I can't remember.
They're called like they're not the invisible. The nice ones are the invisible people, and then the other ones are called like the mean people or something.
Yeah.
So the mean people, they are going to kidnap the invisible people and take them to a whorehouse, so they start whoring them out.
Isso, não, isso, hã? Você, lá, faz isso, ó, hã? Chama,
His dad finds him. That's the amazing scene where his dad finds him, and he saves his dad. His dad's getting shot at by with darts, and his fucking son remembers him and saves him. To me, that was like emotional. That was a shocker of a scene.
Yeah. And
so many depths and layers and emotion. And then it looks like they almost die themselves making the damn thing. He's pissed off because his son is ran away, and he's like, I'm staying here. This is my home. This is my people. And then he needs help, and he goes and tracks down his actual dad and climbs a building.
That's the best part of the whole movie, man.
I mean, there's a lot of great parts.
The part when he climbs the building, to me, is a standout scene.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it, man. You know I love to climb. So.
Oh, yeah, man. You climb. Sometimes you sleep on top of this during the
So, yeah, I love that. I love Powers Booth, man.
Go to town on Powers Booth. What you think about
Powers Booth? I first heard about when I saw the movie Frailty. You remember that? Bill Paxton?
Was it directed by McConaughey, or stars McConaughey? Bill Paxton directed it?
Bill Paxton directed it.
That's right.
He made like 2 movies, I think. The Greatest Game Ever Played, Frailty. What's sad is he was on like WTF or something on an interview talking about how he really wants to direct, that he feels like that's the next step, what he wants to do more in his career. He died like right afterwards.
It breaks my fucking heart that Bill Paxton died.
I know. Bill Paxton, to the surprise of no one, is probably a hero of yours and mine.
I fucking love Bill Paxton. I mean, to be honest, if someone ever made a movie out of my life, I'd wanted it to be played by Bill Paxton.
I guess if there's only the one consolation, Bill Paxton's not around to be in a dumbass show that Chip would watch, you know? Like,
yeah, at least
he's only in good shows.
Because know they would fucking put Bill Paxton in probably some Yellowstone or Landman.
Did you like Big Love, Chip?
Yeah, of course I did.
Well,
I haven't seen that. I'd like to see Big Love.
Big Love is kind of good.
Well, I think casting. Rewinding to Chloe Sevigny, looking back on Brown Bunny, I do think Brown Bunny did not hurt her career.
No,
but it did hurt Vince Gallo's career.
Yeah, well,
he hurt his career.
Yeah,
in many ways.
I mean,
now I think I heard you say you hate Brown Bunny. I take that blowjob scene out, or leave it in. I don't care. I actually think I've reevaluated it. I think it's a cool movie.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a cool movie. I do.
Well,
and you know, we don't have to agree on everything. It's an interesting movie. Visually, it's interesting. You know, I mean, Vincent Gallo, he an asshole.
Yeah.
But he an artist, you know? I mean, he's a real artist. You can't argue with that.
I guess I can't argue with that, but I don't know if I want to hear what he has to say. Now, I don't really remember the Brown Bunny, the movie.
That's the thing. The first time I saw it in the theater, I said, it's fucking boring. I'm falling asleep. You know, then I watched it on tape. And I was like,
Well, when I was a kid, I thought Buffalo 66 is a pretty good movie, but the older I get, the more I just despise that movie.
For real.
I despise the worldview of that movie.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why he needed to make that. I mean, I guess I do understand why he needed to make that movie, because he's like an egotistical monster. I don't like it. personally. People say it's like Cassavetes. It's like, well,
I don't go with that comparison.
I don't go with it either, but I'm like, also, let's
because
just watch
it's got Ben Gazzara, you know?
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Let's just watch a Cassavetes
Yeah,
movie.
if you want to watch like a Cassavetes movie, just watch a Cassavetes.
If you want a 70s-like movie, watch a movie from the fucking 70s.
So when's the last time you revisited Buffalo 66?
It's been about a couple years.
Yeah.
Last time I put it on, I watched about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I couldn't make it.
Every time I rewatch a movie I hadn't seen in a while and I had a strong opinion about it, I like to try to watch it with fresh eyes and give it a reevaluation chance, you know. With Buffalo 66, my take is this is obviously an angry character who's mad at everyone. He's taking it out on everyone, and he's taking out on the girl that likes him. He's taking out on his parents, and he's not taking responsibility. He's mad about what happened to him in prison. I like that actor, Kevin Corrigan, plays the goon.
Oh, I love Kevin Corrigan.
Great character actor, great actor.
I mean, the movie's got Angelica. I like Christina Ricci. I mean, I like.
There's a lot of stuff,
yeah.
but so anytime I see something, it's like this is very on the surface. Like he's an asshole. We don't like him. That makes me say, as a movie watcher, all right, here's what you definitely want me to see. What do you want me to not see? It just makes me curious, like, well, what's he doing? What's he making? You know, same like he did put Jan Michael Vincent and a cameo in there.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I feel like it became a 90s director calling card to be like, look who I cameoed in my movie. And he kind of did that. It's like, well.
It's not before Pulp Fiction, though.
No. But, I mean, you know, I theorize you could trace that trick back to Stanley Kubrick in The Killing. Because everyone in The Killing, every single actor in The Killing is like a, look who I got in there. Tell me more about Powers Booth.
Oh, I don't know. I just love Powers Booth, man. I mean, I just rewatched Southern Comfort. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I have. Walter Hill.
Yeah. And then he's in another Walter Hill movie called Extreme Prejudice with Nick Nolte.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one all the way.
It's like a Western set in modern day times.
Yeah.
I like that movie a lot too. But yeah, Frailty and Deadwood, man. That's like the reason why I just like always love Powers Booth. So going back and finding he's not in like a whole lot of movies.
No,
honestly.
It's sad that he passed away.
Yeah.
We need our Powers Booths back, and we need our Bill Paxtons back. Yeah, Powers Booth probably today, given the state of the tape industry, he'd wind up in a Landman too.
No doubt.
Yeah, and Powers Booth, he's essentially a good guy, and he has a character arc in this Emerald Forest movie.
He plays a good guy in Southern Comfort as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I'm thinking of the other Boorman movies, like Point Blank, Deliverance, Excalibur, Zardoz.
Zardoz, I've never seen that.
Zardoz is good, man.
Yeah? Does that fit in? How does that fit in with the whole John Boorman thing?
What do you mean, how's it fit in?
Well, you know, I mean, I saw a thread between Excalibur, Emerald Forest, Deliverance, you know, man having to fend for himself in a world that is throwing things at him that he don't know what to do. And he's got to use his
essentially that's what Zardoz is too.
So it's kind of it all kind of fits together, don't it? Yeah.
Zardoz is a strange film, man. I'd love to rewatch that.
Yeah, me too. I've been meaning to check it out. I know we got it on tape here.
Well, should we move on?
I think we should. Well,
Emerald Forest for a long time.
End of the Spirit. The Emerald Forest, based on a true story.
Yeah, I know. We were on that for a long time. So
it's the first movie. That's why Oscar screeners exist, because he feel like people didn't see this movie enough, so he like sent out tapes to people, and that like started the trend of Oscar screeners.
Oh, so
Emerald Forest.
So that's what we could thank Emerald Forest for.
Boorman was like, "Hey man, I made a good movie here. What the hell?"
So we was talking about. I was saying The Killing by Stanley Kubrick was one of the first. I think one of the earliest examples of look who I pulled out of my hat.
Yeah.
Look who I know. Look who I am cool. And that's a pretty hip thing to do. Was that chopper outside? Are they after us? Chip?
I got it.
Chip, you looking at your phone? What if someone busts through the door? They gonna put you in a chokehold. It's a fire hazard.
I got it under control, Garrett. I got people on the outside I'm in communication with. God
Chip,
damn it!
Look at that.
I can't. I'm calling the fire
you got a
department.
call
One
coming
more.
too.
This happened one more time. My daddy's friend at the fire department's going to come and shut all this down. You
better not let that happen, man.
Yeah,
we got tapes to watch.
Yeah, we got tapes,
I'm living
man.
here, man.
You're gonna tell on us? We're gonna tell on your daddy. You tell your daddy he's gonna come back and bring his fire department man out here. We're gonna tell your daddy you've been smoking ice and doing it with a rubber, he ain't gonna respect you for that.
That's not a good idea. He's had a bad week. His bars, his sidelines, and kicks, everything's been raided by the FBI.
And tackles?
And tackle. Every single one.
What about hustles?
Except not the strip club.
Well, that's good. What's going on? Why are they raiding his bars?
Well, the cheese was expired. The women they had a couple that didn't have IDs, which is normal. And so everything was fine, though, at the strip club, which is primarily where we're sleeping at these days.
You're sleeping at a strip club?
Well,
but your daddy, I thought he had a big old mansion in South Tulsa. He had a big old mansion in Bixby.
He got kicked out when my mom found out a couple things. So we're staying at the club right now, but I can tell you, Garrett, it's the best place I've ever been.
So your mama kicked you out, too?
I'm kicked out as well.
Because you sided with daddy?
I think we got to cut this out of the podcast.
Okay. All right, we'll cut it out.
All right.
The Killing, you know who that's written by, right?
Yeah, Oklahoma's own Jim Thompson.
Jim Thompson, which brings us to what our next one is. You want to tell him? You want to introduce him?
After Dark My Sweet, James Foley.
About me, Carly, we just met.
I don't have any idea.
Get a shot of that, Ian.
Get a shot of that.
Ian, you get a shot of that? You get a shot of that, Ian?
Let me see what I can stir up for you. I don't want him talking you into this mess.
Family's ready to pay up.
Don't hurt me.
They just want the boy back.
How about it?
Wake up, Polly.
Faye doesn't trust me, and I don't trust her. We both don't trust you.
After Dark, my sweet.
Starts Friday.
This movie's part of a wave of kind of like mid to late 80s into the late 90s desert set neo-noir crime films.
Yeah.
This is one of the few ones I hadn't seen. I watched on your recommendation, and people have been recommending this me for years, and I've been missing it. You know?
Yeah.
It was not what I was expecting. I think I was expecting a bit more of like a crime type, the kind of the obvious tropes of film noir that play out in films like Kill Me Again, Blood Simple, Red Rock West. What else we got in that kind of mini movement? U-turn kind of ends with U-turn.
Yeah. What about Unforgettable, that Ray Liotta movie?
Oh, who directed that?
That's John Dahl too, I think.
John Dahl did that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Because he did Red Rock West, right?
Yeah, he did Red Rock West and Kill Me Again with Val Kilmer and Joanne Wally Kilmer.
Man, I don't think
that's kind of an abstract movie, but it's good.
What's that movie with Val Kilmer where he's in the desert?
I think it's Kill Me Again. There's a lot of shots of rear view mirrors.
All right.
He's got a ponytail.
I'm thinking of a different movie though, where he's like a cop.
Oh, is it
Thunderheart?
Thunderheart. Yeah, that's it.
That movie's kind of good.
Is that kind of a neo noir? Would you say?
I don't know. I think maybe it has elements of that. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Directors like John Dahl and Carl Franklin, One False Move. Billy Bob wrote that one.
Yeah, I love One False Move, man. I mean, Carl Franklin did Devil in a Blue Dress too.
Yeah, I love Devil in a Blue Dress. Walter Mosley, he's a badass writer.
Yeah.
He wrote the book Easy Rollins' Devil in the Blue Dress. I wish they'd made like 5 more Devil in the Blue Dresses.
I do too, man. And when this came out, they were adapting Thompson stuff like The Grifters came out right around the same time as this one.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another Thompson adaptation that I'm forgetting maybe. Oh, The Getaway. Did
we
say that one?
The remake of The Getaway.
Remake.
No, Roger Donaldson directed, Kim Basinger, and Alec Baldwin, The Getaway.
Which is The Getaway kind of like the wellspring from which all this stuff flows, you know? I mean, I think there's probably
You think the 70s one, you mean? The Peckinpah?
Well, I mean the novel.
Oh, that's interesting. Like kind of like the Troublemaker Lovers on the Run.
Yeah, but setting it in the American Southwest and stuff, you know?
Maybe, but I mean, you could trace movies like The Getaway back to film noir Lovers on the Run films like Gun Crazy, Tomorrow is Another Day, They Live by Night, and
is Ace in the Hole, is that a noir movie?
I would say Ace in the Hole's a noir film for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And
Touch of Evil?
Touch of Evil, 100%. In fact, some people argue Touch of Evil of the noir movement is the last noir. I think it's debatable. It could be Touch of Evil, Odds Against Tomorrow, and then there's a few stragglers that go into like maybe 61, 62. Then it becomes, I think, according to critics, neo-noir. And then we move into like 70s and 80s and 90s, and I think they call that all neo-noir. But I think we're kind of divvying this in its own little mini movement of 90s desert noir. But Blood Simple fits in that too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say that.
So this movie, was not what I was expecting. I think I thought it was going to be more crime-like, and it was an interesting character piece. And I wasn't even sure if I was like, first half of it, I was a little bit like, this is kind of doing it with a rubber a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I think that kidnapping scene, what it's about, okay. It's an ex-boxer played by Jason Patrick.
You like Jason Patric?
Ben, I'm taking you home with me.
Well, I said that's what I want to talk about. What's your thoughts on Jason?
Well, what are you waiting for? You want to pay
I feel like he's kind of good in this movie.
The wrong idea about me.
He's like a real actor.
That's what I was saying. It's kind of an actory performance that he gives. But I'm an open-minded guy, and there's a place for everything in my like. There's a place for bad acting. I think got some movies in here. Obviously, I ain't seen this one, Mission to Kill or Circle of Fear. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure they fucking suck.
Yeah.
But I'll watch them. He gives a real actory performance.
You don't really know anything about me.
You know, and he's doing it. But then let's just talk about the ending.
Yeah, let's talk about it
now, because I was a little confused. Does at the ending? So what happens is it's basically about these three people, and they got these kind of toxic relationship, and they plan to kidnap a rich guy's kid.
Yeah,
kind of like if Chip got kidnapped. And they're gonna hold him for ransom and split the money, you know. So we got Jason Patric, Rachel Ward, and Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern is amazing.
Always.
I mean, in this movie, whipping ass.
Yeah, he's whipping ass. He's like definitely giving a
I like the old guys, like the Doctor too.
Yeah, that guy. And so
that guy's from like Psycho 2, and he's in some other stuff too.
So I went and I looked. I went and I read a review afterwards by Roger Ebert. It was a after the fact review, and he was saying, I think it completely. Maybe I was only half listening to a piece of dialogue. The scene where he says, "I want you to stay here," and then Jason Patric runs away. I think I didn't realize that there was a sexual desire going on with that doctor.
They're using you for their own criminal purposes.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. So it's been a while since I read the book,
which we got a copy of right here.
Which I had an extra copy, so I brought one for Garrett.
I appreciate that. I don't read shit. I watch tapes, but maybe I'll take a look.
I implore you to check it out.
Okay, maybe I will.
It kind of, in a way, I wanted to say, I love Jim Thompson. This is not my favorite Jim Thompson book. I don't love the story here compared to some of his other movies like Population 1280, which is made into Coup de Torchon by Bertrand Tavernier.
I haven't seen that, but
that's a great movie, great book.
Now I'm gonna walk.
And I know last time we talked about Killer Inside Me. I think Killer Inside Me is a stronger work from him. I think Getaway, although they've never made a good Getaway movie.
You don't think either of the Getaway movies are good?
I think Sam Peckinpah did like an okay job, but like they didn't do the ending of the book. In both the ending of the book, they have to hide out in like a literal pile of shit, and then they have to get in these like underwater caves.
Right.
Take these pills so they'll sleep and not freak out.
So McQueen and McGraw were like, we ain't gonna get in that shit part. We ain't gonna do that part.
Well, I think that they do have that. That's what they compromise with, right? Don't they get in a pile?
I don't remember. I've only seen Peckinpah's Getaway one time.
They don't go to El Rey. At the end of the novel, they have to go to this city called El Rey where you can't leave.
Yeah.
And everything costs so much money, and like you can't get more money. So when you run out, basically you got to go to the outskirts of town where people are eating people.
Whoa.
And it's like hell on earth.
Whoa. Yeah, Jim Thompson, he does have a real sense of hell on earth.
He does. So like those are my After Dark My Sweet is like almost A tier Thompson, but it's like riding the line between the A and the B tiers.
Yeah.
Thompson. So like the twist at the end of this is kind of like a watered down version
it's the twist
of what we've gotten from the other Killer Inside Me, Population 1280. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because he's like, actually, I'm not insane. I pretend to be insane. But it's like, buddy, we're listening to your inner monologue here. I'm pretty sure you're insane.
Well, there's a scene, a memorable scene, where he lays down in the bed, and it's a shot. You know, the shot is of his whole body in the bed, and he's by himself, and he just starts crying.
Yeah.
It made me think, after I saw that part, like, guess what? I ain't insane. I planned it all. I've just been faking the whole time. Oh, by the way, he's an ex-boxer.
Here. That's what they used to call him, Kid Collins.
Which is a very noirish trait. I mean, boxing is a noir film, got a history of depicting boxer. Talking about the setup, 99 River Street, Champion, Body and Soul, you know.
City.
Boxer, he's a promoter, right?
It's built around boxing.
Yeah,
he's not a boxer, but yeah.
And wrestling, there's wrestlers there too,
Yeah.
See, now, Not in the City.
Is Brute Force, is he an ex-boxer in that movie?
Lancaster?
Yeah. Is there some boxing element in that? Okay, never mind. I don't mean to derail you.
But, because, I'll get railroaded. So anyway, he's like, I'm faking. Now I'm gonna kill the kid.
Don't hurt me, mister.
I wasn't sure whether to believe it or not.
I'm pretty sure if I'm to understand from what I've read from the novel and I've seen the movie now a few times, I think that he thinks he's that smart, but he's actually not.
I told you, Faye, right from the beginning that I wasn't stupid.
It is kind of a dumb movie. He's like, I'm gonna kill the kid. Let me just bend over and make this easily accessible gun there for the movie trope.
In the book, it's even a little more clear where he's like, I'm gonna kill the kid, and he's like getting out of the car, and he makes the fall out of his pocket into the seat, and he knows, but he just lets lets it be in the seat. So then he's walking away.
Interesting.
And he gets shot in the back.
So maybe
it's a little weird.
Is it kind of like I'm a master manipulator, but I just can't not play the game of manipulation? So I'm like, I'm telling you I'm dumb. I'm telling you I'm smart, and I want you to think I'm smart, but I'm also smart enough to know that I'm pretending to be dumb. Go ahead and kill me.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing?
I guess. It's weird.
Now,
I'm not going to say it's not weird. It doesn't make sense. I don't know if it works completely, but...
The movie, how do you feel about the movie?
I love the look of the movie, man.
Yeah.
I mean...
You really believe there could be a you and me?
And I do like Jason Patric.
No, Jason Patric's got some good performances. And yeah, he is actory, but I was going to say there is a place for an actory performance. I love Mickey Rourke in Barfly.
Yeah.
He's doing all this like, hey, I'm a drunk and I'm acting all soupy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm acting like fake Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
But I love that performance. He really did physically transform. He's got himself a boxer body. And he's kind of got that short-heeled thing going. It's a little bit, so in some ways, it's a little bit much, but on the same time, like, hey, he's having fun. I'm having fun.
I think he's a great actor. I think he has he's real choosy with his roles, and then I think he's turned down a lot of stuff that he probably shouldn't have turned down.
Yeah,
he's
like what else did he turn down?
Didn't he turn down Speed 1 and he ends up doing Speed 2?
Is that what happened?
I think so.
And then Keanu
I might be wrong
down?
About that, but
I know
he's like for a while he was a very choosy actor, but it's like he ultimately could be only one Warren Beatty, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's handsome. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And that last shot at the very end of the movie when he's like looking into it's framed where they got the car, part of the car, they frame and he's kind of looking down. I mean, something about that shot. I really like that shot.
Yeah.
And the kidnapping scene where he's dressed up and he's got the station wagon, he's dressed up like the guy who's usually, that whole sequence, interesting. Like, I think about noir and I think sometimes the more preposterous it is, the more I like it. Because it's a metaphor. We're watching a movie. You know what I mean? And that was a scene where it's like, well, this is very preposterous. He's really dressed up like the kidnapper, and he's really got that station wagon. They found the station wagon, the whole thing, and I like it. Same with the kid is a kind of almost catatonic. You know what I mean? So I can enjoy a movie where it don't play out like it might really play out because it's cinematic.
I love the ending too when Bruce Stern he's all like, I made it, and he just gets killed.
Yeah.
And then that guy who kills him gets killed.
That part was, I wasn't expecting it. Also, the sex scene's kind of strange, you know? Like I
loved it, personally.
Yeah, tell me.
I don't know.
It's just erotic.
You don't see sex scenes a lot in movies, and that's it. It's like they keep fucking over and over, and then they'll finish.
While the kid is dying.
It'll fade out,
Yeah.
come back in. It's like they have sex like 5 times in that montage.
And they've been building it for a while. And so the thing about Roger Ebert's review, he's saying that they're all drunks, and they're all kind of bound together in this desert miserable life because she's a widow, and Uncle Bob, Bruce Dern, is kind of like just a hanger on her, and then he's this wash-up boxer loser. They all just kind of have this unhealthy relationship where bad ideas manifest. I guess I was sort of just watching, and sometimes I don't pick up on everything right away. And I wasn't really picking up that she is sort of like a drunk, forlorn, hiding behind her.
She's maybe like, I mean, the casting ain't perfect. I think Bruce Dern's maybe the only perfect casting in this. Jason Patric, I think, is interesting. I don't think she's bad in the movie, but she needs to be a little more haggard, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
As you read the book, she is supposed to be beautiful, but the book really hammers home how liquor-soaked all these people are.
Yeah.
You know?
Rachel Ward is sort of like...
What is she in? What is she from?
I always used to get her mixed up with Jacqueline Bisset because they're both kind of look the same.
Is she in The Guardian? Rachel Ward?
Rachel Ward's in Against All Odds, which is another kind of one of those Taylor Hackford neo-noir. It's a remake of Out of the Past, which is an original noir with Mitchum, and it's got Jeff Bridges. There's a movie called No Way Out with Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And then there's a noir called No Way Out with Sidney Poitier, Richard Widmark.
I haven't seen either of those.
And they don't have anything to do with each
related?
other. They're not related. But then there's also a movie called The Big Clock. No Way Out is a remake of, I think it's a remake of The Big Clock. Which is a noir with Ray Milland. Anyway, Rachel Ward, obviously she's very beautiful.
Oh, sometimes Revenge. Kevin Costner. That's another movie.
Tony Scott?
That would fit in this. The Desert Neo-noir.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, yeah. And then True Romance kind of does the Lovers on the Run type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of these movies, a lot of these desert noir films, they led way to that Quentin Tarantino knockoff trend of the 90s.
Yeah.
Trouble Bound, there was another one.
Yeah, Trouble Bound, Michael Madsen.
Madsen.
Tarantino regular.
Patricia Arquette. Yeah. After Dark, My Sweet, I want to give it more credit than saying it's like doing it with a rubber. You know what I mean? It just, I guess it sometimes just depends on what you're in the mood for. Never in the mood to do it with a rubber.
Yeah.
Okay, two ways to look at it. If you're interested in this entire mini movement we're talking about, it's a must-see.
Yeah.
If you're interested in all the film adaptation of Jim Thompson, it's a must-see. If you're interested in James Foley's movies, it's a must-see. If you're interested in Jason Patric's performances, must-see.
Yeah.
Or Bruce Dern's.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think it must be a must-see.
Yeah. I think it's a Dale Jr.
Okay, Dale Jr. That's a good way of putting it.
You
It's
know,
a Dale
I mean,
Jr.
it's not like...
It ain't
the
a Harrison Burton.
No, even for James Foley, it's like, I like At Close Range more than this. I probably like Fear more than this movie.
Oh, for real?
You know?
Yeah.
And honestly, as I was watching this, I was like, man, if they could have made this 5-6 years later, Wahlberg would be perfect for the lead role of this movie.
Oh, man.
As like a dumb ex-boxer who's got some screws loose.
I think you're, damn, you know what? You're fucking right on the money. Wahlberg would slam dunk that part.
I think so. I think
he
Foley
lives that
probably
part.
felt the same way. That's why he's in Fear.
Right.
You
He
know,
was like, shit, if I'd had you when I was making after. Also worth noting, this movie was a dud at the box office. And I think, Ian, you got a shot of that, Ian? I think it's probably got something to do with this boring-ass poster. Wouldn't you say?
You don't like the poster?
Well, it just don't got nothing to do with the movie. It looks like it's a sensual. This looks like 9.5 weeks.
Kind of makes it look like they're going to be fucking through the whole movie. When
Yeah, they
it
don't-
happens, it's like minute 91, I noticed.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
They
Is
didn't
this
get
the first time?
Yeah, they don't start fucking till like way into the movie, and it's also like there's a kid dying in the other room.
Yeah.
So it's the most
Well-
inopportune, unsexy time to fuck, but they just gotta let
One
it
of
out.
the things about this, and a lot of like the adaptations of this, is like this movie, or the book, I mean, is like set in 1950 or whatever. You know, he's like writing it like, and so they transpose it into the 1980s, and it didn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
Like some of the things like, he punches the doctor in the chest and gives him a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's like such a weird thing to do. Like, I feel like that makes sense in a novel from 1950.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, can we do it a little bit different? Did you ever realize that that's what happened?
Not until they said on the radio that he died.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw him punch him, and it did seem like, is that his way of killing him? Because the way that, it was the acting that cued it to me, where he goes, "Who?"
Yeah.
You know, and I thought,
Yeah.
that seems like this was and it seemed like, I'm going, you know, he was kind of like, I hate to do this to you. Boom, like that, like he knew that would kill him.
Such a weird angle, too. I don't know if he could have, like, actually...
It seemed like he hit him on the side or something.
Yeah.
He said, you know. Also, that was another thing about him as a boxer. In the flashbacks, they told us like he had this dark history of he killed a guy in the ring and by taking his glove off. And they did do that thing, you know, that Ryan Gosling thing where he's always punching someone real fast. Punch. It's kind of stupid sometimes. It's like,
You really believe there could be a you and me?
Anyway, should we move on from
Let's
After Dark
move
this
on,
week?
yeah.
Yeah. What should we do next?
I don't know. What do we got
What
to
else?
watch? Should we
What
watch
else?
The Island?
We watched The Island. And so I can't. We had this one. It was just on. It
Got taped off.
Yeah, it got taped off HBO or something like that back in the day, or maybe it was Cinemax or something like that. So we found this tape, The Island. So you know, we'll superimpose a picture on there with trick photography. So we watched The Island, which is an adaptation of. Oh, we also got The Deep, which is also an adaptation. After Jaws, Peter Benchley was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know that."
Wait, is The Island Peter Benchley too?
The Island, The Deep, and Jaws, all Peter Benchley,
Wow,
based off Peter
You're
Benchley
blowing my
books.
mind right now.
Yeah.
I somehow that escaped me, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Jaws and The Island were related in any way.
Yeah, and Jaws too, right?
Isn't that kind of weird that then Michael Caine would be in Jaws 4?
Yeah, it is. Michael Caine, he had a knack for not saying no. He came from a working class, miserable childhood, so I think that informed
really?
his say. Yeah, well, he was like living in bombed out England.
As I was watching this movie, I was like, I think Michael Caine loves like island life.
He's also in this Poseidon Adventure 2, I think.
Yeah, he's in Blame It on Rio.
These are all Michael Caine saying yes to garbage. That's weird. When Michael Caine is near the water, it means he just
Jaws
needs the money.
Revenge, yeah.
Yeah, Poseidon Adventure 2, or Beyond the Poseidon Adventure.
I think he looks good tan. I mean,
that's true.
He looks at home. He looks like he's comfortable in his skin. When he's like down in the Gulf of Mexico, wherever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
You know? I just feel like Michael Caine loves island life, personally.
Yeah, maybe that's just
the
like
vibe
his
I'm
way of...
A vacationer's paradise. And yet this region was once a stronghold for outcasts, thieves, and murderers.
Let's put this right here. So,
A savage race. that vanished hundreds of years ago. But what if there were survivors? And what if they kept their existence a secret from the outside world?
We don't have a copy on tape of the island, but we got a copy of the Deep, and we got the dub off TV of the island.
The island.
Yeah, so that's sure the island is on that tape.
Yeah, but then this is the Deep is representing the island.
And the cover is cool. It's like a hand coming out of the water with like a knife.
Yeah, I also had the book. So I read that.
So you read the book?
I own it. I haven't read it. But so I heard that Peter Benchley, you know, he made a shit ton of money off Jaws, and then they said Jaws 2 as well, and then they said The Deep, we make that, and that was a hit. It's kind of boring to my memory. I don't even remember if I've watched it all the way through. And then they said, we need another one. He's like, shit, I better type up this book, The Island, so they can turn it into a screenplay. So that's what happened, and they cranked it into production.
The Island.
And Michael Caine was like, I need a job. So he said yes.
Yeah. And then David Warner's in the movie, too.
Apparently Michael Caine and David Warner were old buddies, and they're
I believe it.
The Island.
So
David Warner should never take his shirt off in a movie, man.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, David Warner, like, you're so weird looking, man.
What, I forget what happened. What's his body going on with his body?
I don't know. He just looks very alien-like to me. I was very surprised by the way he looked, you know. It's like he spent no time in the gym. That's clear to me. But, like, it just seemed very strange.
He doesn't have...
He does not have...
Did it look like he had a pirate leader's body?
No.
That was the thing. I thought David Warner may have been the one miscast person in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
You got a lot of guys with no teeth. All running around the movie, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? David Warner in the middle, it's like, David Warner could have played Michael Caine's character.
It's true,
Man, what if you switched the role?
Well, I would be...
Would Michael Caine ever play a villain
Have we
like
ever
that,
seen Michael... I mean, he has played bad guys.
A villain like on that magnitude.
So how would you describe what this movie's about?
What if someone found out? The island, where civilization as we know it has taken a bizarre turn. Who are you?
These men and women and some children living on an island.
The island.
They're like near the Caribbean. So basically Michael Caine's a reporter in Florida.
So we open with these old men on a yacht and they're murdered, savage. And
they're kind of goofy too.
One thing I liked about this, and I was like, God damn it, Garrett, you done it again. You know what I like? Because like I see the guy gets his gut cut open in a way that I've scarcely seen in a slasher movie before.
It's seriously gory.
I thought the effects were great, you know? So, like, it's got these, like, slasher pretensions on it.
Yeah.
But it's, like, really a movie about Michael Caine being a reporter, going to, like, solve the mystery of what's been happening to these rich men on their yachts.
There's, stuff. Like, I guess been people disappearing, and he's a hotshot reporter who gets stuck in Florida, working in Florida.
And he's kind of like a bad dad,
He's a bad dad, and he's a divorcee. He says to his son, we're going to go to Disney World. And the son's like, for real? You better not be fucking with me, Dad. And he says, I mean it. And instead he takes his son to buy a gun. And his son's like, please let me buy a gun. He's like, your mama's going to be mad. And the son's like, I don't care. And he's like, I can't believe I'll let my son have a gun. But
it's kind of like Chip's dad in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on now. You trying to get choked out?
Chip, I dare you to come over here and try
Chip, try it. Chip, try it. Spice up our show. Spice up our show.
Chip, no.
Chip, that's a...
Chip, no.
Mayday!
I'm not the one, Chip. I'm not the one.
The only reason I'm not
the one, Chip.
It's been a bad week for my family. If my daddy wasn't in so much trouble, I would go over there and I would put you in a world of hell. And I'm sorry to say that word on the podcast.
Chip must be smoking ice. If he thinks
Chip, man, you got ice in your pocket?
It's not that I've never smoked. The truth of that is it doesn't do that much to you. It really doesn't change you much from what you already are.
It just brings you more like yourself?
It just makes you more, you get more in touch with the...
Chip, you're the last person I think needs to be more in touch with themselves. You need to get far away from yourself.
The island.
We're doing our best with Chip. We care about Chip. He's our rich friend. Gets us free artichoke dip.
Gets us the nachos.
You know, but it's like, you know, they say you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. You can lead a gal to doing it without a rubber, but you can't make her do it without a rubber. And that's kind of like you, Chip. We can't make you be less like Chip.
That's all well and good. I'm going to let it be. I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to watch the door like we agreed to.
And you'll step out of the way if you realize you're a fire hazard.
time you say that word,
what word?
Like wait, Garrett, this was supposed to be my podcast. This was you said that this one was going to be about Chip.
Yeah.
Did you bring any tapes, Chip?
Well,
I mean, we're watching tapes here. Did you watch any tapes?
What I was trying to do is I Googled some of what y'all were talking about. I looked up.
You with your fancy smartphone.
I looked up Sam Paxton, and I saw that he was in.
There is no such person as Sam Paxton.
I did see Twisters. It gave me nightmares, so I don't.
He's not in Twisters.
I don't recommend that movie.
Twisters was shot here 2 years ago, and Bill Paxton. If you're thinking of Bill, he's been dead for a few years. There is no Sam Paxton. He's got nothing to do with Twisters. You're thinking of Sam Peckinpah and Bill Paxton. You're conflating the two.
There's Sarah Paxton.
Sarah Paxton, great actress. Yeah, great actress. Sarah Paxton. Love Sarah Paxton. Every performance I've seen her in.
I agree. I love The Innkeepers.
Great movie.
People don't.
We got Sarah Paxton. We got Pat Healy. I know
Pat Healy.
Pat Healy. He's great.
He's good, man. Ever since Ghost World, I've loved Pat Healy.
Oh yeah, man. Pat Healy can do no wrong with Pat Healy. Pat Healy.
Compliance. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah, man. Pat Healy gives a chilling performance in Compliance. Pat Healy, he popped up in Killers of the Flower Moon. It's good to see him in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is Sarah Paxton and Pat Healy both in Cheap Thrills too?
Yep, and they're both in Cheap Thrills.
Cheap Thrills is a good movie.
Great movie. Great movie. What's wrong, Chip? You got to go to the bathroom?
No, I'm all right. All right. It's a condition. I don't want to talk about it.
The condition is that you step out of your place.
Hey, look, if anybody came in here,
I think you stepping out of your place your whole damn life. That sounds like a condition that you got for sure.
I'm going to give you a pass this time, Garrett. But next show, if you continue this way with me, you're going to end up asleep.
Hey, sometimes I can use a good nap. I'm stressed out as is.
Heard.
Maybe when I'm stressed out and I can't sleep, I'll call you, come over, you give me a chokehold, I'll have a good night's sleep for once and for all.
All right, but it ain't going to be like...
Oh, it's going to be a little rougher?
Yeah. It's going to be a lot rougher. It's going to be like... Kevin Costner.
I thought the guy in the show, he showed a guy a chokehold and he gently laid him down like a little dog.
Yeah, that's how chokehold people.
Isn't that where you learned about chokehold?
Yeah,
from Yellowstone. He does it all as an example. He's like, this ain't gonna hurt.
I've been watching. Kevin Costner is the best.
Kevin Costner is dead at the point of the show that you were talking about, where the guy does the chokehold.
Well, I still learned it from the show, Garrett, but I've been doing it since I was in grade school.
Okay, that don't track.
I
you got to get your story straight, Chip.
I said what I said.
Well, let's go back to the island. So the island. So basically, here's the thing about the island. So the island is about a reporter, and he wants to do research on this mysterious island where people keep disappearing. It's sort of near the Bermuda Triangle, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
Turns out it's an island of pirates in the modern day.
Yep.
And these pirates been inbreeding for hundreds of years, living off the grid in civilization. It's a weird, eerie, unexpected parallel to the Emerald Forest.
Yeah.
And, it's what's interesting about that, Ian, you got a shot of that, Ian? It's an interesting parallel because you ever watch movies, you go on a tear watching tapes, and you're like, man, all these tapes kind of go together. You finally, maybe that actor is in that one and that actor, and he's in this movie too. Or, this movie's got similar, this would make a great double, triple feature or something like that. Or, wait a second, same cinematographer shot it, That was my experience with the island and the Emerald Forest. So the island, this was a bomb. This was dead on arrival. No one liked it. Michael Caine pissed on it for years. And then I even read he don't even like to talk about the island. He thinks it was a dog, a dud, a bomb, a stinker.
Stop this make-believe.
I think this movie, fair enough, is certainly not going to be for everybody.
Yep.
But within every 5 minutes, something happens I don't expect.
The part when the airplane crash lands and the guy's just like, whoops. What the hell? And then Zach Smokey shows up. I love Zach Smokey.
And what's he in? He's in
Dry White Season.
Yep. By Yuzon Palsy.
What's that?
Dry White Season, directed by Yuzon Palsy.
Yes, that's right. That's correct. Yeah.
He's a great. Yeah,
I love Dry White Season. He's in Serpent and the Rainbow.
That's right, Serpent and the Rainbow.
And he's in he's in some play with Matthew Broderick that they shot for PBS. I can't remember what that play is called, but it's about racial and class disparity in South Africa.
Yeah,
he's essentially a father to Matthew Broderick, but he's a servant. You know? And God, I can't remember what that's called, but
I don't know it either.
That's a good one too. Zach Smokey, he won a Tony for it.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I love. Zach Smokey.
As soon as he showed, I didn't know his name, but when he shows up, I'm like, this actor. I'll love every time this actor shows up, and he's real good in it too.
Yeah.
It's a quick part, but there's just weird stuff like they got this huge boar on the plane, and like the movie has almost in a shocking way that makes it thrilling, has no heart. Has no love for anyone in the movie. You know, so like there's a huge boar and they're like, oh, you got to be careful of that boar, that big pig on the thing. Plane crashes, boom. You are to assume every animal in that plane is dead.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, and they don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Nobody gives a shit about it.
Everybody seems to get killed left and right. You don't know. As soon as you like them, boom,
the
they're
little
dead.
boy gets, there's two little boys, and one is like, hey, why can't I be the son of David Warner?
Yeah.
And it's like he's chosen the other kid. And at the end, he's like wrestling with the gun, he gets shot in the head.
Yeah, by another kid.
Like, the end.
Yeah, and then and there's this. I mean, but there's so many things like they kidnap. Basically they're using Michael Caine. They're using Michael Caine's virility to try to repopulate their island with the one.
What happened to his wife? I was trying to remember that today.
I think that they divorced or they were on the rocks because
no. I mean his like island wife. She's not there when
she don't get killed. I don't know. She don't get mowed down.
She's just left on the island.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe they just. She kind of. I don't know who that actress was, but she kind of resembled Sandra Locke.
Yeah, she does kind of resemble.
But
Sandra Locke.
she was like poor man Sandra Locke.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where like people are having a nice time on the boat early on, and all of a sudden this guy with a hat on fire shows up. You know, and then there's a scene where they're storming this boat of what looks like young people having a nice time, and they go and what do they call that when they pillage the boat with pirates? You know, they
pillage. I think
they pillage the boat. Pirates. They come and they invade the boat, and they're doing all these pirate swinging where
they're like murdering everybody.
They murder them all. Then it turns out these like yuppies on the boat are like trafficking cocaine.
It's like, why do those kids have a pirate ship? Like it's like a weird old pirate ship. And I was also kind of like, you guys don't want this ship? Because then they just leave. They blow the ship up.
What I inferred was that the pirates don't want the ship because they got their own ship, and that's just what pirates do. They loot it, they take what they need, and they don't give a shit about the cocaine. They just want like food.
They don't even know what cocaine is.
Yeah, that was like, I thought all that, there was some interesting.
I thought it was interesting too, yeah.
Yeah, and then they just torch the boat and let it sink and burn to the ground. Yeah, every single thing in this movie, I just didn't see it coming. And so they're using Michael Caine's virility to try to repopulate their island because they're so fucking inbred.
Yeah.
When you think Michael Caine, they're going to stick him, they're going to kill him, all of a sudden this woman shows up completely covered in mud, you know?
Yep.
And she's like, you killed my husband, but now I'm going to fuck you. Or whatever, you know, because I want a baby from you. You know what I mean? Also, there's some interesting parallels between Emerald Forest and this, in that like the leader of the gang or the leader of the group, the son forms a bond with the son, and the son's like, this is my new daddy. Like, so in the island, the kid is like, David Warner's my daddy now, but he's a little more brainwashed, whereas Emerald Forest, he was sort of like raised and trained, you know, but it's still, there's those
parallels. The guy who like raises him in that is like kind of a good guy or whatever.
Yeah. In Emerald Forest, he's like, he's actually a good guy.
Yeah.
You know,
David Warner's like,
he's just shithead.
Just a piece of shit.
Fire! You? How dare you speak to your father like that?
You're not my father.
Stop this make-believe. Fire!
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
I like David. Do you like David Warner?
Oh yeah, I mean, he's in so many. He's a working class, classy actor.
He's in Straw Dog.
Is he like one of the bad guys?
No, he's like the guy who's like,
hey guys,
how about
the time is up for today? I was told.
Oh, we got to wrap it up?
We got to wrap it up.
Now, is your time up, or is the whole thing we got to wrap it up?
I'm gonna stay just because I don't trust what's going on.
You think the neighborhood's you're gonna protect us, Chip?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure if anybody goes to sleep, it'll be y'all or whoever busted here.
All right. So yeah, David Warner. Yeah, his head in The Omen.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing.
And then
scene.
I thought when they remade that movie, they cast David Thewlis in that role, and I was like, that's a pretty good. Like,
I didn't see that remake.
Like,
that's pretty good. Dude,
yeah.
Thewlis is kind of like the Warner of today. Yeah. Thewlis is great. I mean,
God, I love Thewlis.
I love Thewlis. I'll do Thewlis every day. Thewlis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We can find Naked on tape, man.
Yeah, I bet you we got Naked back here. Naked, there's a movie with a lot of layers.
What's that movie where he's like a poet and he's like in love with Leonardo DiCaprio? It's like
is it Dawn's Plum?
No. Dawn's Plum. Now that's a movie. If we can
got
that on VHS,
we can find Dawn's Plum.
I'd love to watch Dawn's Plum. Man.
Yeah. Dawn's Plum is like a representation of a scene from another time. So, all right. Well, The Island. I would say this movie is so fucking weird. It is like doing it without a rubber, simply because I did not know what to expect next. And every time the movie continuously subverted my expectations. And we didn't talk enough about Michael Ritchie, who is a very notable and great director.
Yeah, he directed Prime Cut.
Oh, yeah, Prime
Fletch.
Cut.
Fletch Lives.
The Candidate. Bad News Bears.
I've never seen The Candidate.
It's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but, you know, it's...
I know that cover where he's, like, blowing a bubble.
Yeah, blowing a bubble.
Yeah.
Smile. You seen Smile?
I've never seen Smile.
Smile, you got to see that one. That's one
I
of his
love
first...
the Bad News Bears, though.
I love it.
I don't want to get past that one. That one, that's amazing.
Yeah, Downhill Racer.
Downhill Racer, yeah.
He's got more good movies than some of the, you know, the best directors. Wildcats, you seen Wildcats?
With Goldie Hawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of like a reverse Bad News Bears. And so they're both kind of like fish out of water coaches for...
it's been a long time since I've seen Wildcats.
Wildcats cracks me up.
I've been wanting to rewatch that. Swing Shift Protocol.
All those Goldie Hawns?
Yeah. There's a couple of Goldie Hawns I've been wanting to rewatch.
Yeah. Anyway, Michael Ritchie, love it. Oh, he also took his name off a movie that I thought cracked me up called Student Bodies. You ever seen Student Bodies?
Yeah, I've seen Student Bodies.
You know, Michael Ritchie apparently secretly directed that movie.
I didn't know that. Now, did Michael Ritchie do Burn Hollywood Burn? Is that him too?
He might be. I think there's a few people on there that took their name off. I think Michael Ritchie might be one of them. I never saw that.
Okay, I actually never saw that movie either. I remember when that came out and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Find the tape for Burn Hollywood Burn.
Yeah, well, I've never seen that myself. I guess we'll table those for next time. Maybe I'll brush up on FX2 and
who knows?
FX.
I think last time we said we were going to table some things and we didn't get to them this time.
We got so many tapes. We got so many tapes. You know, but I mean, we can always flag them. You know, like I still ain't had a chance to watch Son of the Shark. You had a chance to watch the Red Squirrel
or
I haven't Race Red Lantern?
Honestly, I forgot that we talked all about the Red Squirrel at all.
Red Squirrel, I've been thinking about that movie.
Spanish.
That is still an interesting movie. Those Spaniards, they really have a good sense of surreality.
Well,
because, you know, that's where we had Buñuel, we had Dali. Them Spaniards, they got some surreal ways of thinking.
That's
so
right.
I still recommend the Red Squirrel.
Well, I'm going to check out the Red Squirrel. That's going to be my movie tonight.
All right. Well, you've been watching the tape pile with Garrett Claxton, Ray Busler, and then we got Chip Hindenburg over there.
Yep.
Chip, I guess you protected us all right. Yep. We didn't have any threats today.
Not one single person even tried to come in the storage space this time.
You saying someone tried to come in?
No, I said nobody did because they know better.
Yeah, because they saw you. You made a big announcement outside. What'd you say?
I said, get the fuck away from me and my friends. I call y'all my friends.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Chip. So thanks to Rob Stewart. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Josh. Here come the details. And yeah, I guess we'll see you on the tape pile next time.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Here Come the Details, a screen show. Thank you to Garrett and Ray for filling in once again. As always, we'd like to thank Brian Gerges and Dean Menta for our amazing theme music. Also, Evan Hughes, Ian Upton, and Raygun Busch of Chat Pile for making this episode possible. Please check out Chat Pile if you haven't already as they get ready to take off on their European tours, and they'll be out on the road till the middle of June. Now we're going to leave you with one of their songs, Shame, off their new album, Cool World. Enjoy.
Stop.